Hey, what's up gamers and collectors? DGC back here with another video for you today, and today we're going to show the pickups for late November into basically the end of the year. So quite a few stuff for a variety of systems, and we'll see what we ended up getting here. And I actually decided to just do the drawing for the Mario Party 6 400 sub giveaway on that instead of doing it live, because really it's just kind of silly to do it live because it'd be like 30 seconds worth of a stream in all reality. So just did it, recorded it, and you're gonna have to stay tuned to see if you won. Alright, so let's start out with some 64 games. I don't really pick those up too often. When I do, they need to have a nice label on the front and a nice label on the back, and the pins need to be clean because I like the 64, but I want all of my 64 games are just in amazing shape. They really are. And it's not a huge collection. It's probably 70 or 80. So yeah, let's go ahead and check these out. This one I actually recently just picked up for the Dreamcast as well. I can't decide which copy I want to keep. Dreamcast looks better, but the N64 is kind of more nostalgic with these old school games, and that being Midway's Greatest Arcade Hits Volume 1. And hopefully there's not too much glare on that. So yeah, strangely enough, there was never a Volume 2, I don't believe, or at least there wasn't on the 64. And now this one is a cool game that I've been looking for a long time. This being Winback, which eventually ended up getting a PlayStation 2 remake or sequel. I can't say for certain. It's one or the other. So I do actually want to give this a shot. This was kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like an original, like Gears of War probably got some of its ideas from this. This was like the original cover-based shooter. So I definitely want to give that a shot. Now, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I don't know if I've ever said that on the channel. I probably have. If I haven't, I absolutely love Star Wars. However, I've not seen Episode 8 yet because I've heard it's absolutely terrible. So I'm just going to wait to see it for free, because fuck you, Disney. You destroyed my childhood and everybody's childhood. How you gonna let Luke go out like that? I mean, there's no spoilers in that. You've already heard about it whether you saw the movie or not. How you gonna let my man Luke go out like that? That's just disappointing. But so Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I really, really do. Much like probably every single one of the people watching this video loves Star Wars. Here, so Pod Racer Star Wars was one of my favorite games. That's not what this is. Empire Strikes Back. Cool game. Pretty good graphically. And then what was the other one? Oh, was it Rogue Squadron and Rogue Leader? Maybe it was Rogue Leaders on the 64. I have it. I can't remember. I have all three of them because the second and third are on GameCube. But whatever. Here I go rambling again, like always. So this is one that I've always wanted and I just never see, but I finally found it, and that's Star Wars Episode 1 Battle for Naboo. So this is actually a really cool game, and let's go ahead and check out some gameplay real quick of this.
Them out.
I would almost kind of say this might even be an N64 hidden gem that's not really talked about a lot, and I feel like that's kind of unfortunate for this game. It's very cheap. I think I paid under $8 for this, so definitely a cheap game to pick up, and I highly recommend it. It's a cool game. Definitely takes some time getting used to the controls, or maybe it's just because I don't play 64 all that much, but cool ass game right there. Definitely want to keep playing that. Now, not too long ago, well actually yeah, it was still cold out, so it might have even honestly been, it was before I moved, so maybe it was the summertime. I picked up a Mad Catz N64 steering wheel, racing wheel. So I've been picking up racing games for the 64 pretty regularly. I think there are 4 Rush games for the 64, and I think I now have 3 of them. So this is Rush 2 Extreme Racing USA. So also a really cool game. The Rush games are actually really fantastic. I believe the last Rush game that ever came out was LA Rush on the Xbox. and that probably was on the PS2 as well, and maybe even the GameCube, and maybe even PC. But I'm pretty sure that was the last Rush game that ever came out, which is really unfortunate because that's a fantastic series that I don't know who owns that. Midway. So who owns Midway stuff now? Midway's gone. Probably like Activision or something owns that now, maybe. I really don't know, but whoever owns that should bring back the Rush games. I feel like that would be a cool thing to bring back. Like, I could get behind buying a Rush game, a modernized Rush game, like digitally. You know, sure, I'd want it physically, but it, you know, it could still be just the simple old arcade racer, and like that would be a good thing for the Switch, you know, eShop or something. Just like a little quick pick up and play racing game, you know. So many of you know that the GameCube is my favorite system of all time. It was essentially, it was the first console that was truly mine. I had a SNES growing up, but that was also my sister's. It is mine now, but we shared it when we were younger, so the GameCube was the first system that was truly mine. So it shares this huge sentimental value to me, and all the games and all the experiences, the joys and the memories and everything about the GameCube was just such an amazing thing to me. It was just, my childhood really revolved around video games, much like most of yours probably did if you're watching video game content creators on YouTube. I just love the GameCube. It just, everything about it was so good. But not everybody can be as cool as Dan from Rebel Gaming Club and have the full GameCube set. That was my initial collecting goal way back when I was like 12. When I was like really, you know, I started collecting when I was probably 10 to 12 in that ballpark, and I really wanted to get in to have the full GameCube set. Because at that time I had heard rumblings of people like having the full NES set, and like that was like a cool thing, and I was like, well, fuck that, those graphics look terrible. I want the GameCube set. This is modern and slick looking. And obviously that never happened and probably won't. It's not necessarily the most expensive system to collect for. I think there's 570-ish games for the GameCube in North America. Now, with that being said, most of them are anywhere from $5, and then you got Cubivore and you know, what is it, Pokemon Box, and that's, to me, the Pokemon Box, that shouldn't even be in the set. That's not even a game. All it is a memory card that lets you save Emerald and Sapphire and Ruby Pokemon onto your GameCube. That's not a game. That's stupid, but whatever. So that is technically another big box that I don't have, but I don't count that in this set. So with that being said, I picked up the big box for Mario Party 6. I actually had this and bought it way back in the day with my own money. And for whatever reason, in my mind, I was just like, I don't need this box, I'm going to throw it away. I kept the game, obviously, and hence the fact why I have this extra copy of Mario Party 6 to give away. I only really wanted the box, and that's it. I ended up paying, I think, $38 or $39 shipped for this, so a really good price with the game. So I'm just kind of giving back to the community and giving it away. But I'm really happy to get the box back in the collection. With that being said, I have Odama complete in box, Mario Party 6 complete in box, Mario Party 7 complete in box, and what was the last one? Completely drawing a blank on it. I'll remember when I'm editing the video. And then of course you have the Donkey Kongas and, you know, whatever. Those are cool, but they're not rare at all. I still see those everywhere complete in box, so I'll get them eventually. Nico, actually, my cousin, has 1 and 2, Donkey Konga 1 and 2 complete in box, I think, so maybe I'll just trade him for it. But I'm beyond ecstatic to get this. This is my favorite Mario Party. It really is, and I don't know why I ever threw the box away, so glad to add that back into the collection. Alright, so another system that I never talk about, never pick for, pretty much ever. I think I'm looking at my PS2 collection, in the entirety of this channel, I think I've picked up under 5 PS2 games. So I picked up 5 more. I got all these on eBay. These are not uncommon, but they're not common because these are sought after titles that I really wanted to have in my collection. I had the PS2 when I was, I got the GameCube in 02, and then so I was 12, and then I got the PS2 the following Christmas, 03, and then at that point my parents were just like, no, ain't having it, no more systems for you, which was a lie, because then they ended up buying me my second PS3 because my first one I had to sell away. Being young is rough. And so yeah, I've always enjoyed the PS2, but to me The graphics have just not stood up to the test of time. PS1 and PS2, to me, they just have aged well. They have not aged well. Saturn, debatable if that's aged well. 64, again, debatable. GameCube has aged well. Xbox has aged well. But PS1 and 2, to me, they just really haven't. So with that being said, I don't really pick up a lot of games for it. These are all exclusives to this console. That's why I picked these up. If you're a fan of the channel, you know that I like exclusive games, because exclusive games are usually good. That's why they're exclusive. That's why the manufacturer of the console makes them exclusive, because they're good. So with that being said, this was actually made by Sony. I know absolutely nothing about it. This is called Primal. It is complete in box. I know nothing about it. From the looks of it, it's some kind of ghoul, like, you know, there's like a gargoyle back here, and there's like a goat horned guy like using his electric powers on somebody. I know nothing about this, but I am excited to give it a shot. So this was developed by, it just says Sony Computer Entertainment on it, so I don't really know who developed it. Let's go ahead and figure that out if we can. I don't know. Doesn't say. So I guess that'll remain a mystery unless I find it and edit it into the video. Now I'm going to leave that one for last. So this one, really cool game here. This is Deus Ex, The Conspiracy. So again, nice and complete in box, because that's the only way I roll. I believe, is this a CD? No. So some of these are actually on CDs, which is kind of rare, and those are more finicky to play into a fat PS2. They always play in a slim one, but in a fat one, they're starting to not read the blue discs, which are essentially just CDs, not DVDs. So this is a really cool game. I'm a huge fan of the Deus Ex games. The first one that I played was it Human Revolution was the last gen one, and then Mankind Divided, it was this gen. So I've beat the crap out of Human Revolution like 2.5 times. Once before the DLC came out, once again with the full campaign and the DLC, and then once halfway through, because I was like, oh, I got it on the Wii U, I want to play it again, and then I didn't beat it that time. And now mind you, that is a good point to bring up. The definitive version of the current Deus Ex trilogy that they're on, Human Revolution being the first one, the definitive version of that is on the Wii U and the PC, but console-wise, the definitive version is on the Wii U. And the tablet stuff is really cool if you haven't tried it. Alright, so here's another. Well, I'm going to show these at the same time. These are two for the PS2 that I've been wanting for a long time. I never see them, ever, because people want them in their collections. They're not rare, but people want them in their collections. These are both exclusive to the PS2, again, and that being Contra Shattered Soldier and Neo Contra. So I'm pretty sure these are the ones that were the blue. Yeah, this is. So Shattered Soldier, it is a CD-based game, and Neo Contra is DVD. But again, both complete in box. I actually bought these on eBay as a double lot. I think I paid 20 or 25 for these shipped, so not terrible overpriced on those. At that price range, I would definitely recommend picking these up. So which is, I forget which. So Shattered Soldier plays like your traditional side-scrolling Contra, and then this one is the one that was actually more appealing to me, and most people don't like this one, where it's more of like a flat Contra, like if you've played Contra 3 Alien Wars, where you get to that second level and you're on, so it's like an isometric view basically is what this one plays like, from what I can tell. It's like an angled isometric view. Actually, let's just check out some gameplay. So yeah, I think this is cool. I cannot wait to beat these. I suck at Contra games, but I do have a action replay for my PS2. I actually have 2 of them. So with that being said, I think I might be able to actually beat these games. So pretty excited to give these a try. Now this last game here for the PS2, and then we got one big doozy that Oh So Jiggly will love so much that I bought. This last one for the PS2 is the only way you can play this on a console, and this is on the CD, on a CD as well. A little scratched up though, unfortunately, but they don't look deep. So the only way you can play this on home console, that on the is on the PS2. That being Half-Life, the original. I've played the crap out of Half-Life 2 on the PC many times. I owned it on my PS3, on my 360, in the orange box. I owned it on both of those at different points in time throughout that generation, because the orange box is badass. If you don't have it, you really should own it. It is kind of pricey. I've watched it remain around $35 at GameStop for a very long time, because I don't currently own the orange box. I do want to own it again, along with Portal 2 on the consoles, because I like to own my games physically if possible. So with that being said, I've never actually played the original Half-Life. So there's a lot of things that I've watched other YouTube videos and understand about the story, but I want to experience it for myself for the first time. So I don't know if these graphics held up very well over the years. They don't look terrible on the back of the case. I do have the component cables and a frame meister, so that'll obviously help a little bit, but it's only going to go so far to make it look a little bit better. So with that being said, though, I'm very excited to give this a shot. And you know what I just realized? This might not be... Well, I guess it is. This is thick. This isn't real. Oh my god, this is a Kodak printed... Wow, dude. I'm totally going to call this guy out on eBay. This is a Kodak printed insert. That's bullshit. I don't want that. I didn't notice that until just now because the writing on here is real grainy. Oh man, I'm pissed about that. Fuck. Whatever. It is what it is. Alright, so here is a Wii U game that I've been waiting a long time to pick up. It's never going to drop in price, so if you're waiting to get this for the Wii U and you didn't get it on the Switch or you don't own a Switch, there's really no point in waiting, because this is going to be just like Twilight Princess when this disappears off the shelves. This is Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. I do own the Master Edition for the Switch. I just about basically beat the game. I'm heading to the 4th Divine Beast on the Switch. However, that was like 6 or 7 months ago when I stopped playing. For me, it just wasn't the Zelda game that I wanted. It's not the Zelda game for me. There's no dungeons in it. You know, I think the map is cool, and it's a good feeling to the map, and you get into the world and you start exploring, and it really does bring you back to the first time you played Zelda. For me, I think the first Zelda I ever played was probably Ocarina of Time, much like many people. And I mean, to me, that and Majora's Mask are still very good, but I would still say Wind Waker is my favorite. But Majora's Mask is definitely second place to me. So this has a really good Zelda feel to it. It does, and the music, and they added more RPG aspects where you could pick up different weapons, and and that was a huge controversial thing with them breaking all the time. I remember picking up a gigantic like ice sword and then like having a flame sword, and I would kind of save them for when I'd run into a tough fight, and I guess maybe that's what you're supposed to do, but they break so quickly, and it's just like it was such a big reward when you would climb up like this crazy mountain and then find this gigantic like ice saber, and then you would use it to, you know, kill some goblins and hobgoblins and this and that. But then it would break, and then like that would just kind of frustrate me. And the breaking idea is cool and all, but I think they broke too easily. So that was something that really pissed me off in the game. But the reason I did buy this was partially to collect it. It is still sealed. I am going to open it, but I'm going to wait to open it for when I'm actually committed and have, you know, this takes a good 40 or 50 hours to beat this, I believe. Maybe 30 to 50, I'd say. And that's really something you have to dedicate, you know, a good month to playing this game. And I do want to do it, and I do want to beat it as a Zelda fan and as a Nintendo fanboy. I do want to beat this. I kind of feel a little ashamed that as a Zelda fan I didn't beat this because it just didn't align with my you know, my Zelda liking and my Zelda taste. Much like Wind Waker probably was weird to people. It was a huge leap in a different direction with the boat stuff, and you know, not a lot of people like that game. A lot of people thought it was weird and didn't like the graphics. To me, I actually really love the cel-shaded graphics, and this kind of has a little bit of a cel-shaded look to it, so that is something that I did enjoy about Breath of the Wild. But I can't wait to jump into this, but it's going to be probably after the winter backlog, and frankly I'm still playing Xenoblade 2. I haven't even touched any of my backlog games except to upload the footage for that video, and other than that I'm just kind of really focusing on beating Xenoblade 2, and I'm having hella fun doing it. I am stuck on it though, so if any of my subscribers have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I think I'm in chapter 5 or 6, no spoilers. If you haven't beat that game, you might want to just pause the video here for a minute and probably just leave. Basically, I'm at the part where I'm fighting this giant reactor core, and it's on top of a giant walking ship, and it basically does this like nuclear blast that blows out, and it's just a one-shot kill. So if any of you have fought this boss and have figured out a way to beat it, I've watched plenty of other videos and I've read through guides, I still cannot beat it. My guys are all about 5 or 6 levels higher than it. I should be able to destroy this guy, but I just cannot physically beat this boss, and it is just mind-numbing that I'm 38 hours into this RPG. I want to keep continuing. It's just such an engrossing, amazing story that I want to keep continuing, but I just can't get past this boss. I've already fought him 11 times, and I cannot beat him. It's things like this that really shouldn't have been let through the Q&A quality testing or game testing through that company. It's so frustrating. It is the most frustrating boss fight I've ever fought. I get him all the way down to like probably a third health, and then he just does his nuclear attack where it does this green shockwave and just one hit done. You can have full health, you're just dead. Doesn't matter. So if any of you have gotten to this boss fight, please let me know. Please let me know how to beat this. This is a great reason to have a YouTube channel, because I'm sure at least one of my subscribers has gotten to this boss fight and had difficulty with it and either beat it or got stuck and frustrated and threw that game away. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Peace out for now. Till next time. Hey guys, so right here I'm kind of demonstrating that none of the names had been entered into the wheel yet, just proving that, you know, I hadn't spun it yet or anything. And then right here I'm just kind of showing everybody that actually entered. There was 15 people total that actually entered for the giveaway. Alright, so here's the list of people that actually entered. 15 people that I entered into the list. And then at this point we are spinning the wheel, and VC Freak won. So as promised, here is your nice minty copy of Mario Party 6 with the Mario Odyssey coin still sealed, and I actually as well found you a Shadow Mewtwo amiibo still sealed, so I'm going to be throwing that in as well. So hopefully you enjoy this, and thanks for being subscribed.
Come here, you mother... This is it, baby.